right. I think we are going to be starting here in about 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes. We got a beautiful, beautiful show for you very, very soon. So stay tuned. I am pumped. I hope you are too. We have a smash or pass episode coming up. All right, the stream is running smooth. The stream is running fine. Looking good. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one today. All right, guys. We'll be starting here in just a minute. Just making sure everything's set up for you. If you're watching this at a later time, you can fast forward through this if you would like, but we're going to be starting very, very soon. This is your Smash or Pass gameplay video. And we're live, baby. Listen, I got something I got to tell you. If you're here, you don't care for politics too much because they're talking right now. But I tell you this, I let it all fly by, let it all go past. I am here for one thing and one thing only. It is 9/10/2024, and currently the S&P 500 is sitting at 548.79, a close just below a 50-day moving average. Now that we know where we are at, in case we're looking at this at a different time in place, we are here to do Smash or Pass, baby. What we do on Smash or Pass is we like to use the strategies that I have implemented, but on this special episode of Smash or Pass, it does not matter whether or not you like my strategy or not. If you like the stock and you want to tell us why you would take it, you're more than welcome to say why. If you wouldn't, you're more than welcome to say why. It's not if I would or I wouldn't take this trade, it's would you take this trade. But if you want to tell me why and it's not due to my strict criteria or my strict strategy, tell me why you might take it or why you might not take it. And that will make this a little bit more interesting. What is going on, Dan? Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive. Jimmy Bright, it is good to see you, fine sir. Let's just jump right into this. Today we had a mixed signal. Let's take a look at this stock though. This stock here, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I have not replayed this. This is actually setting up currently. Do you think that this is a stock that you would want to take or not? That is the real question. We have a big push up here on volume, and as it holds that 10-day moving average, it's starting to get tighter and tighter here. This is the real question here. If you look at this last candle here, this breakdown, and then it gets soaked back up, that's called an undercut and rally. Some of us don't like, some of us do like, but it did undercut all of these lows and then rallied back up. Is this considered to be bullish? Do you consider this to be bullish, and would you take this trade? Let's say if it were to break out of this area here on volume. Would you take this trade? What up, Beef Stewie? Let's do this, baby. I'm pumped. A little bit of lo-fi music in the background, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then, of course, as you guys know, when you hear this sound, that means that you only have a few seconds left to answer. This goes for you. If you're watching this at a later time, you're more than welcome to join our awesome community. We do this live in the Discord, and it's a lot of fun. We like to get everybody involved. We like to make sure that everybody is well aware of how to do at least one strategy, okay? There's many strategies out there. The program that I have might not be perfect for you, but it is perfect for some. So if you want to join, just have an open mind and a heart of gold, and you're more than welcome to go down to that more. Click the LinkedIn and join the Discord. Jimmy Bright says yes. Dan Bob says yes and bullish. Yeah, I do agree with you. I really like an undercut. A big soak on a daily is a good bullish sign for this. Now, of course, we don't hit play on this one because this is actually setting up. This is AXGN. This is, I believe, what is this, a bio? Let me just double check this. Health technology and medical supplies. So it's still in a lukewarm sector, if you will. And that is the very first one that we're going to do on this. I just wanted to give you guys one that was actually setting up because we've been seeing some setups lately, but below a 21-day moving average. It's kind of one of those things where, you know, I'm going to see some of them go, but I'm going to see a lot of them fail too. And so I'm kind of just waiting on the sidelines. A couple more heavy pushes. We might be above that 21 very soon. But as for now, I'll watch these leave the platform all day long until we're above a 21. Norman Conklin, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. We also have ADXN. This is another one. I'm curious, would you guys take this? Is this something that looks good? Now, to my criteria, we'll go over that really soon, but we got a big push up here and a pullback, and it's following a 10-day moving average, and it's getting tight here. And like, let's just look back here a little bit. You can see we do have, you know, this mess going on over here, but if we zoom in just on this bit here, this is the real question. We just draw a trend line off of this top and try to grab something that fits. And there we go. There's our trend line. There's where it's getting tight on the 10-day. You guys would take this? Yes or no? That's the real question. We need to know what we're going to do with this stock. There are some perfect examples in here, and we're going to be going over them very soon as well. But this stock in particular is also not on the overall watch list. Zamora, what's going on, Zamora? It's good to see you. Yeah, this is a nice trending pattern right here. This is a trend line right here. If we go like this, you can form a box. What I usually do is I just form the top and I just watch the bottom. I watch this bottom structure. If it's forming new higher lows like this, or if it's riding a 10-day or a 21-day moving average, those are my favorite to let get tight up and then basically spring forward. So this is another one, ADXN. That's on my watch list. And now the next one we're going to hit play on, okay? The next ones we're going to be hitting play on. Here is a stock. Now, this is what it looks like over time. You know, big shout out to you if you know what stock this is. But I did revert this back in time, and I'm curious, would you guys take this trade? You know, I really like this trade. And Jimmy Bright, I really like that answer too. That's a really good answer to, you could use that for almost anything, right? You know, unless it was a 5-star setup, you could just say, watch carefully. That's awesome, you know? That's definitely one, that's one ingenious thing to say, really. Watch it carefully. Because that way you don't have to make a decision, right? You just watch it carefully, see what it does. If you start seeing those patterns over and over again, then you can actually make a move on those plays. But instead, why not sit on the sidelines? Why not watch? You know, let them pass. But the question is here, would you take this trade? Now, it looks like right here in this area, it is breaking out on higher volume. So we can see right here, we have a basing top, right? And we have a rising 21-day moving average that it looks like it's holding. This is a base top here. Would you take this on higher volume through this area of 178? We could even, you know, zoom in on the 5-minute and see what it looks like there and yada. Well, we're just going to go off the daily here. All right. I'm going to give you guys just a few more minutes. Well, more like 30 more seconds. So look at the screen. Tell me what you guys think. Is this going to be a base breakout? Is this something that you would take? B. Stewie says, yes, sir. I do like this myself too. I like how every time it comes up to this 178.77, it smacks its head and it pulls back. But every time it pulls back, it creates a new higher low. That's what I really like about this. Jimmy Bright says, yes, it looks good. So this is the beautiful thing. When you have an area that you cannot get through, that acts as resistance, right? Meaning it running into it, but it's selling off. But then you have a support that is a rising support, right? So a good way to think of it, resistance and support, a lot of times if you see support, I think of it more as like a price area, right? A price area, a horizon of price area. Kind of like this, but this is resistance, right? Well, imagine things getting tighter with a rising support, right? So we were supported here, and now we're supported here, and now we're supported here, and that support just keeps going up, and it doesn't falter below these recent supports. So with a rising support, and then you have a seller right here, a resistance, imagine just the buyers just breaking through these sellers, and then it takes off, you know? So that's what I like to see. I see Dan Yankee says, how's it going, guys? It's good to see you, brother. It is good to see you. Norman Conklin says, yes, he would take it. Jimmy Bright says, yes, it looks good. B. Stewie says, yes, sir. And Dan Bob says, not now, extended. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit play. And this is what happens, guys. This was a Google chart right here, and we can just stop it here. But this was a successful breakout. Okay. Of course, now it came right back down, but as you know how we play the breakouts, we take the breakout and then we sell into 2R, and then we hold on to the rest to see it if it closes below the 10-day, which here it did. So you made a decent amount of money on this trade. This was Google, so it's a slower mover, but this would have been a 4.59% trade that you could have made on a slower mover at 2.26%. Okay. Dan Bob, Yankee, Zamora. Let's see, we have, let me restore that connection, NVIDIA, NVDA. What do you think is going to happen here, folks? I didn't mean to actually give away the ticker. I really didn't. But one thing I wanted to point out here is we have a basing top, right? So what happens, what I always usually say is earnings does what? Earnings ruins everything. And if you look at this setup, this is just a beautiful, beautiful setup, right? That we had on NVIDIA. And then earnings was the next day. Now, I always will never take earnings the day before. If I take a trade on earnings the day before it actually happens, guys, that means I'm gambling. And if I ever were to gamble, it'd be on a very, very small share size, just like I don't go in the casino with more than a couple $100s in my pocket. Thank you for the subscription, whoever subscribed, I appreciate you. So if you look at something like this and you see this basing starting to break out, but earnings is here, well, that's why we talk about the episodic pivots. Would this be on a candidate for a stock in play or an episodic pivot? That's the question. Would you be able to play this on an opening range breakout? And if you don't understand a lot of that question, I'll do my best to put it in simple form. Would you take this trade? Would you take this trade if it gaps up this much and puts in a ton of volume? That is the question. Would you take this trade, or would you at least put this on your watch list to watch for this day? That is my question. I think it's very important to be able to distinguish whether a stock looks good for a play after earnings. Like I said, I don't play before earnings, but I'll play after earnings, because after earnings will show if Wall Street is being surprised, if the public is surprised, and if everybody is surprised, we are gonna see some more continuation or some more action. But some people do not like to play these. They only like to play them before, which obviously I totally don't understand, and I probably never will, because I just see it as a gamble. But the question is, we have this nice base form at the top, and we break out on volume throughout the next day. Is this something that you're going to try? Rogilo, yes, long. I like it. I like it. Dan Bob, I might play the gap up. Absolutely. Oh, we only got a few seconds left, guys. I want you to vote. Make sure you are live on the screen right now, okay? So if you're watching this, make sure you are live on the screen. I'll just show you right now. If you pull this screen in front of you, you just click this live button right here. If you click that live button, it'll bring you right to the front, so that way you don't miss anything. And then, of course, if you click more and you scroll down, you click on my link tree, you're going to get it all right here. Discord, right here. Heart Gold, an open mind. You can join our Discord for absolutely $0. Of course, the TradingView platform, what I'm using right now, if you click there, it'll bring you to a link, so that way you can do what I'm doing with my thing. You can rewind, you can do a bunch of cool stuff with this trading platform. you're more than welcome to do that. But anyway, guys, what are you going to pick? What are you going to choose for this? That's the question. Are you going to take this long? B. Stewie says, yepers. Jimmy Bright says, yes, if it doesn't get too extended. I like that, too. That's a very good answer. And thank you, Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator live, for posting that in the chat comment section. Okay, so guys, I'm going to hit play on this. All right, it's going to move fast, but I want you to see here, and we'll just stop this here. Okay. Now it's not too much surprise that, yeah, NVIDIA, knowing what it is, yeah, we should probably take a long on this, right? This is actually a trade I did take. And there's a big reason for that, because we had a beautiful setup, then we gapped up over that setup. We're talking about AI, one of the biggest leaders, and a great amount of news when this came out, right? A double beat, a double surprise in a hot sector in a market above a 21-day moving average. You can see how NVIDIA really, after a gap up like this, should have some continuation. And on top of all that, should give you some forms of areas to be able to risk off of, right? We don't want to just have, a stock that we think is going to go up. We want to have a stock that not only do we think is going to go up, but we have a good area to risk off of. And if it loses this gap up, we lose our momentum from pre-market, okay? So using that low of the day, if you could have taken this early on a 5-minute candle that was very heavily in volume, you could have risked those days low and made a very healthy amount in this. And this actually, I think I was in Jamaica. I was on a cruise. I think I was in Jamaica here, and somewhere in here, I actually added into this trade even more because there was a base here. But this right here is a beautiful structure. So if you answered yes, congratulations to you. You just made a boatload of money. No. But let's see. Damn Yankee says, I got NVIDIA position at 102, planning on holding for a few years. Okay, well, just so you know, this is in the past. Just so you know. I'm glad that you got some NVIDIA. I think it's gonna do good in a long-term port, but who knows what's gonna happen, mid days. Okay, here's the next question, guys. Oh, restore connection, please. Here is another ticker. I want to know, we have this beautiful push up on earnings, and we can see it's followed its 21-day moving average for quite some time, okay? And now you can see it started following its 10-day moving average for quite some time. We get another big push up on volume here, and here it's pulling back. My question for you is, what do you think about this stock? I really am curious. Would you take this trade if it broke this trend line? Do you like this stock? Is this on your watch list? Is this something that needs more time? Those are all good answers, but I want to know what you think. Tell me what you think about this stock, and I will tell you what I think just as well. Dan Bob says 102 is a nice hold price, but don't think NVIDIA will go over 40. Yeah. It all depends. It really all depends. And while you guys are voting on this, whether you would take this or just keep it on your watch list, there's no yes or no's. You can say whatever you want in the chat. I just want you to be active, guys. I want you guys to be able to train your eye into thinking and to understanding these. So this will be one that we can look at, and then we can kind of go over why I do or I don't like this trade, or what the difference is. I want you to get a good thought around what you might do with this stock. Just glancing at it, so that way when you're going over 300 stocks and this comes along, what's the first thing that comes in your head? But we got a few answers here. Bob Dan says no, it's breaking down. B Stewie says no, broke the 21-day moving average. Jimmy Bright says needs to get back above 21-day, but watch. You guys, this is what I'm talking about. When I was looking at this stock, I was really sad to see it break its 21-day moving average, because it held this 21-day moving average since May of 2024. Seeing this thing break its 21-day moving average is like it just shooting itself in the foot here, because it held for so long. It actually breaking that area is a very bearish sign for me. Now, of course, it could turn around, but as a momentum trader, I like this momentum. This right here, this area, this shows me momentum is over, okay? Now, anything could happen. Anything could happen. But as a momentum trader, as a trend and base breakout trader, when you look for momentum, What you want to see is continuation. Now, this already had quite a few legs up. This would technically be the third leg up after 1, 2, 3. You could possibly count this as the fourth leg up, honestly. And after that, it looks like it's trying to get some proper price action. You know, it's trying to find where it's trying to get in where it fits in here. You know, and ASTS is a communication stock. It was in a hot sector as well. So this is ASTS now. So it broke my heart to see ASTS below a 21-day moving average, because honestly, I really liked this day. And we could just rewind this. We could go right here. And I could have asked you guys, hey, would you take this trade? Because I'm telling you right now, if I was not risk off, I am risk off because we're below a 21-day moving average on the S&P 500, but I would have taken this next candle. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I take that candle? That looks juicy. That looks like a breakout that held the 21, that got tight on a 21-day moving average, that broke a trend line, forming new higher lows. That's beautiful. But the biggest issue with being in a stock that's below a 21-day moving average on the S&P 500 is these fake breakouts. So this right here, I remember I was in the work truck when I seen this, and I told myself, I'm below a 21-day moving average. I am not allowed to do anything right now with trender-based breakouts. And I stayed away from this stock. And it was probably the hardest decision I had to make so far within the last, let's say the last month. I really wanted to take this. I wanted to go against my disciplinary rules and take this stock. And I'm glad I didn't, because it would have stopped me out immediately. It was still within its ADR percentage too. This thing moved 7.42%, guys. I was still within my ADR percentage if I wanted to take it somewhere up here. It would have been okay. Yeah, see 1536. So it still was within its range for me to take at the time at its highs. And I really wanted to take it. And now this thing really pulled back. So that's just another reason why I use that 21-day moving average. There's just more fake breakouts, you know. All right, so here is the next one, guys. Here's the next one. So my question is, what is your first and immediate thought of this stock? Does this look playable to you? Is this something that you would keep on your watch list? Just tell me your thoughts. First thing that comes to mind when you see this. I'll zoom out for you too if you guys really want to see it. You know, you got something like this. What do you guys think about this stock? You know, I'm just curious what your first thoughts are. Then I'll give you mine. But I want to make sure everybody is seeing this just fine. This is the daily time frame. What do you guys think? And I'll read Damn Yankees' most notable chat. Almost looks like MIRA pattern, jumped up big, but now coming down slowly. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it does. ASTS kind of looks like a mid or small cap stock the way it moves. I mean, it rushed up. Not nearly as fast as a small cap, obviously, but it did rush up, and then, you know, it came right. It's just coming crashing back down now. It got choppy, you know, and wide. And of course, while you guys are letting me know what you think about the stock that's in front of you, I want to know, actually, the question I asked was, how long have you been learning to trade? We have 10 votes. So far, 40% of you are under a year, 50% of you are over a year, and 10% of you are over 3 years. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. I think that's a pretty good question. It's good to see, you know, kind of where everybody's at, you know, as traders. That was the last chart I was talking about. Oh, yeah. No, I know, Yankee. I was aware of that, brother. And I was agreeing with you that ASTS looks like a faster moving chart, like a MIRA, because that was a slow small cap, if I remember correct. Norman Conklin says he likes it. Jimmy Bright says probably not up and down. Dan Bob says choppy. Beef Stewie says looks barcoding or it's my crappy Chromebook. No, actually, you hit it right on the head, Beef Stewie. This is just barcoding. This is barcoding, guys. This is what I call barcoding. So if I zoom in here, you know, and just look at this chart, I mean, it's doing nothing. It's literally just surfing a 50-day moving average, but like it's not moving at all. I mean, its average daily range is 1%. You can just tell that this thing, you're not going to make any money trading shit stocks like this unless such a crazy amount of volume comes into this that it's going to just start gapping. Okay. So do keep that in mind. This is what we call barcoding. We could just, zoom in on one spot. It looks like a barcode right here. We don't want to trade those. You're not going to make money. This is a daily time frame, guys. In one day, your money's going to go from, 203 cents to 205 cents in a full day. You don't want that for yourself. And especially because there is no volatility, there's going to be a market maker and they're waiting to take your money if you're foolish enough to actually buy this thing. All right. All right, cool. Next up, guys, is this little stock right here. Now, I am very curious. I already marked out like how I would make the trend on this. You can make the trend multiple different ways. You could go like this with it, regardless of how you want to form fit this trend line. What I really want you to focus on is if you like the stock itself, okay? So right now, the average daily range is 9.48%. We're going to assume that the RS rating is like at an 80. I don't personally know at this point where the RS was at. But do you like this stock? Do you like this stock? That's my question. Do you like it? Would you take this stock? Is this something that you would consider? And I can zoom out here. You can see we got this big move up, big earnings beat here, double beat here. One of the surprises for the earnings was over 124%. The next earnings was 312%, and it looks like they came back down on those. The question is, do you like this stock? Do you like the way it looks? One last thing I can note here is we have like this base right here. That is one thing I kind of seen when I first started seeing this ticker here. Let's see. Norman Conklin says no to this one. Beef Stewie says no. Moving average is curling down. Looks like he started a stage 4. Hey, now that's one thing I didn't see. This is what I love about this community right here, is because when we get to thinking about stuff like this, there's a few ways to think about it. You can think about it as it's making new higher lows here. You can think about it as it continuing to make new lower highs. You could also think of it as it's like slowing down. And now, like Beef Stewie says, he's looking at the moving average as curling over. It's curling over, just like a stage, what did you say? Yeah, stage 4. Yeah, like here's the stage 2 or the 3, and then it's going to start curling down for stage 4. I like that. Jimmy Bright says no, heading down. Dan Bob says no, breaking down. I really appreciate you guys being able to see that. So I will say this. When I first looked at this, my very first thought was, if it were to hold this base, there's a basing structure right here, and it's also created new higher lows right here, just barely by a couple of pennies, okay? So new higher lows right here. If it can hold this area and start to make another new higher low and put a big chunk of volume in this, I would say, yeah, we could take this. But looking at it just from here, not seeing all that extra crap I just said, where we would do something like this, big bout of volume and then come back down and then do something like this to be able to make, obviously, a base or a trend breakout, then that is what we would want to see. But because we don't have any of that in front of us and we're just using the data that it's giving us, I have to 100% agree with you, B. Stewie. The moving averages are starting to curl down. The 50 is above the 21. The 21's above the 10. It looks like it's losing momentum. Every time it comes down to this area of what we would consider support, the bounce gets smaller and smaller and now even smaller. I have to agree with you 100%. I think this thing is just going to completely fail. So you can see here it came up one more time. This is as far as we are right now. It popped back up. It made a new higher low and not much volume at all being traded on that push there. And that breakout, you could consider this a trend breakout, and it just succumbed to the selling. Okay, so this is Dave. This is DAVE, Beef Stewie. Actually, I think that you sent this to me in the chart, or you told me to take a look at this one. So I'm just seeing, does this make another new higher low? It's got a 99 RS rating. Its average daily range is 5.5%. I still think this has an opportunity to work out now, but right here, like you said, the moving averages were curling down. So it's giving this like push where it's still showing that this area is being supported. There is a big buyer here. So unless that buyer gets exhausted, we might be able to bounce and create another new higher low and continue higher here. So this one's kind of one that I just want to continue to watch because it's very interesting, especially now that the moving averages are kind of trading sideways on this. So awesome answer, guys. Thank you for that. Okay, we got a couple more questions for you. Let's see. No, we're not gonna do that. What do you guys think about this stock right here? Bada bing, bada boom. What do you think about this here? Would you take it? It's fairly new. It's a fairly new stock. We get a big push up, a pullback. It starts to consolidate a little bit. It's starting to get tight. You know, what would you guys do with this stock? Maybe we give it one more day. Right here. There we go. One more day. Okay. What are we doing with this stock, guys? What are we doing? Let's answer quick. Talk to me. What are we doing with this stock, guys? That's the real question. If you're doing it well. If you're not, you're not. All bets are in. I want everybody to answer on this one. You taking this or not? And I want to know why. I'll even get the food out. Here we go. We got a big piece of chicken here. It's smaller now. Here, we got some chicken. Where you want it? You going up or down? Norman Conklin said he would give it a few days. Dan Bob says, I like the VCP. That is very nice VCP. Thank you for pointing that out. If you guys look down here, you can see the volume that's putting in on the push up is higher than the volume on its way back down. There's a lot less volume on the selling. So I do like that. Very good. Thank you for pointing that out, Dan Bob. Appreciate that. Jimmy Bright says yes on volume. Norman Conklin says he's not taking it. Dan Bob says chicken. Right here's the chicken. Well, I tell you, the one who sounded the most confident was Jimmy. He said yes, he would take this on volume. All right, Jimmy, I think this is your piece of chicken today. Let's see if you can make it. Jimmy, where would you take profit if you were in the stock? Where would you we're going to say your stops down here at low of day, right? And we're going to say, well, we'll do it the next day. But where are you going to put in that new high? Let's take a little peek. You guys ready? Are we ready? Norman said he might not take the stock, but he'll definitely take the piece of chicken. All right, you ready, Jimmy? All votes on Jimmy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Another one.
Let's do this, Jimmy. Oh, big candle here. Big candle right here. Big volume as well on that breakthrough. Let's continue to watch this. Look at this thing. Look at this beautiful thing. Jimmy Bright, winner, winner, chicken dinner right here. Jimmy's eating big. Jimmy's going to smash. He's got food for everyone, but he's not sharing. He's gone big. He just went big time. All right, guys, so if you guys don't know this, I like to bring this up quite often. Over a 400% move on this. 400% move. And this is a 5-star setup. You know, a lot of people don't know how to trade these newer IPO stocks, but all you have to know is that in an IPO, there's a high and there's a low. And that's all this had was a high and a low. And sure enough, when it broke that high here, it got a lot of activity, a big push up on, a big push up on volume and a pullback. And as it gets tight, we have another bout of volume. And this thing really stormed to the north side, okay? And then just while we're here, this is why we don't fall in love with stocks, okay? We don't ever just say, you know, this stock here is this is gonna go, it's just gonna keep going, it's gonna keep going. All stocks really come to an end. Now, there's still quite a few stocks that are out there that, you know, are doing well. And then this one might turn around. But we have to understand when things get exciting and very volatile like this on a stock that hasn't really proven itself, we're probably going to get some pullback. And that's why right here, this is exactly where I took this trade out. Okay, I played this trade, guys. I was in this trade from here actually till here. No, actually from here till somewhere around here, because After a 100% move, I switched to the hourly, and then I use the hourly as my stop loss. So this was the actual spot that I took out right here. Yeah. There we go. So we ended up trading this to 27.05 from 750. Yep. That was a good trade. That was a really good day, especially because it was actually called out in the Discord. That was my favorite part about all that. It was all called out in the Discord. Like, we were all aware of it. Everybody's eyes were on it. That thing just launched up. It was absolutely beautiful. So, mucho appreciado. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Catch up on the chat. That would be a really, let's see. Yeah, Beef Stewie, that's NNE. Yeah, Jimmy Bright, you're rich, dude. Predator's here. Predator, what's up, dude? I'm so happy you're here. Pumped, really. Yeah, NNE, Beef Stewie for sure. Profit margin. Yeah, that would make a nice profit right there. Okay, I got two more things for you. This one here, if you recognize it, let me know. But if not, is this something that you would put on your watch list? I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here for you so you guys can understand and see the structure. What we have here is a big push up on volume after earnings. The earnings had a double beat. The first was a surprise with over a 215% on their earnings and a 24% on their revenue. So this was a really, really nice push up, a really nice hold. And this is what I like right here. We have a base right here, and you could consider this a base too. I like to see this more of a trend like that. And it's holding a rising 10-day moving average. I'm curious, do you like this stock? I mean, obviously we are not out of the water yet with the S&P 500 being below a 21-day moving average. But assuming that we are above a 21-day moving average, is this something that we might want to take? And while you guys are watching, while you guys are answering, I'll just read some of the comments. Predator says, apologies, the other thing going on tonight was too irresistible to ignore. Okay. I was afraid to keep reading that. I don't know where you're going. I am Hans and David is Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Yeah. Hans and Franz. We're here to pump you up, yes. Oh, man. We are here to pump you up. Beef Stewie says yes. Jimmy Bright says yes. Who else is taking this? Norman Conklin says yes, I like it. You know what? I like it too, guys. I do too. What else are you guys thinking? You guys in it? Here's the cool thing about this stock. Beef Stewie has been watching the stock for a while. This is CSTL. This is another one that's on my watch list. So I have all my watch list stocks over here. AXGN looks a lot like this CSTL. Okay. This has a base before a base trend. I have quite a few of alerts on this. I really like this. I like the look of this stock. Now, of course, because because we are below a 21-day moving average on the S&P 500, I'm not going to take the breakout, but I'm not going to just stop going through the motions. I'm not going to stop and try and figure out, whether or not I would take, oh, well, we're below a 21-day moving average. I'm done looking at stock charts. No, I want to continually keep my pulse on the market. I want to know what's going up, what's the hot sector, what's looking good, what's not, what's the new rotation, and what's, in what sector, so that way I can be first. So that way I can get my ticker list ready so I can figure out what might be heading up sooner and faster, okay? So this is CSTL, and I really like the look of this trade. This thing moves up really high, really fast on a huge expected beat, trades sideways. You can actually see right here that rising support, as I was telling you guys before. And then, of course, like I've said once before too, the undercut. Some people don't like this. It's scary. But when you get an undercut and it rallies back up into its area, it's a really good sign. It's a bullish sign for the stock. And so now we push up higher, and now we're doing the same thing again. That's why I brought up AXGN here, guys, which is another one you should have on your watch list. We have this undercut. This undercut does a beautiful job at scaring any of your newer, weaker hands out. And when they get scared out, you can see it gets bought right back up here. As we push up on higher volume, we aren't really selling off here, guys. We're just pushing into this 1350 area for a breakout. So we'll see if it actually wants to do it, if it's got the mustard to do it. And then of course ADXN is another one on my watch list. So I just wanted to make sure I gave you guys that CSTL, that ADXN, and the AXGN, because we've been calling them out left and right lately. It kind of sucks that look at, I even have this drawing still here. This is COMM. Congrats Beef Stewie for that. What's a couple of the other ones that we called out in chat that are just working out well? Predator says, I like, and this would cause me to review shorter time frames for a good entry. Yeah, I agree with you on there. Yeah, COMM's doing really well. There was one called PSTL, I think. Was it PSTL? I think this was one of the stocks we were keeping an eye on. I don't remember, though. This doesn't really look like a stock I would watch. PSNL? There it is. I think this is it. I think this is the stock here. PSNL. Yeah, coming off like that. I think that showed up today or yesterday. That was nice. And there was quite a few other stocks that came out, but regardless, guys, I want to end on this, okay? This is the S&P 500. We are right up underneath this 50-day moving average. Now, granted, this daily huge wick popping right back up under a 50-day moving average, it's a really good sign. It is. It's a really good sign. I really like to see that. But the market still has to prove itself to me. It still needs to get back up above a 21-day moving average, sustain that area, and then use this 538 as a new higher low from its recent pullback. If it can do that, if this can be now the new higher low, and guys, I marked this out before this even came down here, right? Because we were saying, where's our nearest area of support? Well, this would be this right here, right before it faltered and broke through. Okay, so now that's what it's trying to do. So if it can hold this area of 539.42, I think we can continue to head higher. Now, those are my thoughts. They're not yours. So make sure you're staying safe and you understand risk management. If you guys need to know a little bit more about risk management, just go to my link tree, click on my YouTube, and you can scroll down. You'll see I have a whole trading school here. Right here is a beautiful video on risk management. We go all over risk management and then how we understand and correlate risk management with the faster movers. And this is done really good. You know, guys, we have 110 views on this and 19 likes. And I really hope that you can watch this too, so you can understand risk manage it for exactly what it is. And I'll actually post that in the chat right now, so that way you can watch it at a later time. And then, of course, guys, if you want this trading view, the same platform that I'm doing all my charting on, you can click this trading view. I give you a free watch list in our Discord. So join our Discord if you have an open mind and a heart of gold. That way I can send you all of our watch lists. It'll be 150 stocks that you can go through, and you can help identify and pull out the best of the best leaders. Yeah, and of course, follow us on Facebook, guys. We have a Facebook right here. This is the best Facebook group out there. It is ran by Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, and he posts all of the things that we are doing, all the meetings that we have, all the greatest books. He's got all these amazing tools that you have to use, free books, guides. I mean, look at all this. He does such an amazing job, and he makes sure there's no scammers. We're already up to 207 members. If you use Facebook, if you scroll through Facebook and you are one that is willing to learn and likes to get new fun things through the Facebook, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a large community that all takes care of each other. And so far, with what we have, this is exactly what we're creating, guys. It's absolutely amazing, and I just love being a part of this conglomerate. So hit that like and subscribe, join the Facebook group, and all that good shish kebab. Yeah, baby. What is going on for tomorrow? Wow, we get a lot, but all I know is I can sit back, relax, and wait for the market to clear this 21-day moving average. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to my rules, and I hope you guys stick to yours too. Do we have any questions before I take off? Talk to me. Talk to me. If you ain't got any questions, I'm going to log my booty off here. I'm going to go spend some time with the wife. Oh, yeah. But I tell you what, guys, there are stocks. There are stocks out there. They are setting up. I'm watching them work. Mostly biotech, health, and PLTR. PLTR did a very well job holding up there. Yep. It's extended now, but it did a good job. It even had the trend breakout strategy in it. It did. And then it gapped up, and you could have played that continuation, but I chose not to, again, being below the 21-day moving average. Norman Conklin said, this is all awesome. Norman, I absolutely love doing this, so I am pumped that you are here. I'm glad that you like it, and I really appreciate your support. I really do. I'm getting a lot of support from a lot of you guys. And I honestly, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I love doing this. I love being here. So what's great is, you know, LAS, we can look at LAS. Yeah, alas, we are looking at LAS. Now look at LAS. This is, you know, this is a nice stock. Of course, being below the 21-day moving average, I couldn't do very much, but LAS, if you do one of these, you can see it creates a new higher low before actually breaking out. It got tight on the 21-day. I didn't see it really riding. It's not as clean as I would want. You know, I would like to see it riding a little bit more and filling in this gap, but it ended up working out. And with the volume coming in here, I mean, it was hard not to be a part of this, but we know your boy Predator was keeping a very close eye on this, and he made quite a bit of money playing this. So I'm very happy for you, brother. I'm glad that you did. If we zoom out here, you can see at this breakout area, we do get a nice chunk of volume that comes in a few different times here that you could have used to actually get into this stock. Whoops, just made that all lobber-jawed. Let's do this. Yeah, right here would have been a nice area. You could use that low of the day so you didn't get stopped out, and let the rest ride. This dip would have been, earnings though. Yeah, see, earnings ruins everything, dude. But yeah, I like this trend. It's moving up higher, faster. I really like it. But now it's so damn extended. What are you gonna do? You know, I see after you get over 100%. So like here, right here, we're at 152. So after 100%, right here, this day, I would be using this hourly 10-day moving average rather than the daily 10-day moving average. We're up over 100%. So now I'm switching to the hourly, and I'm going to use this hourly. And look how nice this LAS follows the hourly 10-day moving average. So now you know where you can see an average amount of support at. And if it gets too hard, too high, too fast away from this 10-day, you can trim a little bit more. Or what you can do is just wait, hold it, and then once it loses its momentum and closes below that 10-day moving average, then you're out, you know? So I'm happy for you. I'm glad you made some money. I hope you did it with your rules and being safe. But wow, there's lots of volume coming in here. So looking really good. Yeah, thank you guys. Dan Bob said it for me. Thank you everybody for joining everybody tonight. We'll see you guys in the Discord. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I like to do. Thank you, Beef Stewie, for being here. You know I love you, buddy. Predator, thank you so much for joining up fashionably late, as usual. I can't really say that because you've been really showing up on time quite a bit lately. Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive. You already know, brother. I really appreciate you, man. You are the best and the greatest. And I don't just say that just for the fun of it. You really are the greatest moderator alive. Jimmy Bright, good night, guys, and definitely the best group I've ever been a part of. Jimmy, you are the best, and we really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Norman Conklin. Norman, I love your support, dude. I love you always being here and being a part of this. Damn Yankee, if you're still with us, roll one for me, brother. Yeah, baby. Who else we got here? I think that's everybody. No, Zamora. I know Zamora showed up. There she is. Zamora showed up tonight. It's good to see you, Zamora. Yeah, guys. And we had a new one tonight. I don't want to miss him. Rogelio Strales. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Rogelio. Oh, man. I hope I'm not butchering that. Thanks for stopping in, brother. If you're still with us, I hope you have a great night. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.